The company Spleene continues to work intensively on optimizing its twin-tip board range. The Spleene High Tech Rip 39, for example, has received a slightly modified construction and now also features sustainable bamboo edges. For now, the result is an impressively lightweight. The laminate resin that is currently utilized now consists to a significantly greater extent of bioresin, which specifically means it is a phenol-free, entirely plant-based resin. This has resulted in the flex losing a little bit of its hardness, but this does not detract from its gliding performance in any way. In fact, it actually feels even livelier and more responsive when starting off, so that riders of any skill level will have no trouble getting the board to plane. The harmonious bottom curve ensures smooth acceleration and allows you to reach a high top speed. Compared to other freeride boards, this one is among the fast boards, but not among the super fast ones. In return, even at high speeds, you still have a lot of control. The Spleene High Tech Rip 39 still has pronounced bevels along its entire edge, so the board cannot grip as strongly in this particular area. However, when switching the board, you notice that the 5 cm fins require a moderate amount of effort to turn the board underneath you. Both of these crucial aspects are truly harmoniously balanced and integrated with each other, and there is virtually no significant loss of speed or performance here whatsoever. On the one hand, if you put a bit more weight on the fin, you get a touch more grip, and if you put your weight exactly in the middle of the board, the force required is a bit less than moderate. The slightly stiffer tips of the board always provide really good control, but when it comes to maneuverability, there's a small detail to keep in mind. The board turns very smoothly in medium to tight radii. You just have to make sure to flatten the board out again in time as you exit the turn. Here you can clearly see that if you put more pressure on it and keep it on the edge, you end up losing a bit of speed. Here, the board is flattened out again and you exit the turn at the same speed you entered it. The smoothness and the damping of the hull of the Spleene High Tech Rip 39 are truly excellent. You can rely on the slightly softer flex here, even though in terms of riding technique, to avoid catching the front fin, you need to put just a tiny bit more weight on your back foot. That way, even in choppy conditions, you always have a smooth ride without risking catching an edge or digging in the nose. This combination of really great grip from the fins and the tail, and on the other hand, the forgiving edge, results in truly excellent control. during all quick, consecutive maneuvers and any tricks you might want to try. You always have a really predictably safe, clean landing, and even if it's slightly off from your direction of travel, you can easily push it back to where you need it, because the edge simply doesn't start to catch at the moment when you don't want it to. So that's really quite nice here, and it is also very easily tuned and adjusted to your preferences. Let's take a look at hooked-in jumping. The various small shape details that were changed have also led to changes in the riding characteristics, meaning in the performance. The board has once again been given a slightly stiffer tuning in the tips. Previously, it was soft, and the tips were even a bit softer, but now it's the other way around. The tips are overall tuned a bit stiffer again. This, in combination with the well-designed hull and the 5 cm fins, gives the board a lot of grip. And because of the bevels, so when you try to generate line tension using the edge, the previous bevels were kind of at the limit, so that if you applied too much force, they would slip a little. They've reduced these bevels just a little bit. It's a bit less now. As a result, the edge holds even better throughout, making it easier, especially for sporty riders, to generate line tension, which in turn has a positive effect on jump height. The comfort during landing, or the safety when landing, hasn't been compromised at all by these changes. The board touches down on the water surface and, thanks to its tracking and bevels, it always remains controllable. It immediately catches the flow cleanly, so you can easily correct small mistakes. So this is truly a remarkably great thing and a genuine pleasure for riders of all skill levels and abilities. For us, the extensive range of practical use for the Spleene High Tech Rip 39 hasn't really fundamentally changed, but rather it's been expanded a bit further into the sporty and actively engaged rider segment. Especially for those who put in even more power, who ride their kites with more power. So, in really strong winds, trying to find a clean takeoff, the new board now grips a bit better at the edge and the tail compared to its predecessor, making control, of course, easier. In other words, you can maintain more power in the end. This incredibly super playful ease of use, which was immediately and readily accessible to absolutely everyone, may have slightly decreased by about 1 percentage point, but that really only affects absolute beginners. So, in general, this particular board is very easy to handle for every skill level, and it consistently delivers its impressive performance very easily and effortlessly, without requiring any special or advanced riding skills whatsoever. The Spleene High Tech Rip is simply a really great and beautifully tuned high-performance freeride board, and this year it's even a bit more high performance than its predecessor. And it's also really great to see that with a retail price of 679 euros for the board, the idea of sustainability is truly being pursued with commitment here, with efforts to further increase the proportion of resin that is phenol-free. Alternative materials for the edges, which are often ABS or molded polyurethane on many boards, are being replaced with bamboo. That is not only commendable, but also smart, because these are very good materials that are also excellent for board construction. So why not simply use those that are less harmful to the environment?